Hi lovelies! So today's video is just going to be me going through a heavily requested look, and it is this one that I'm wearing today, and it is my everyday sort of easy makeup look. And yeah, this is the sort of look that I go for every day. I couldn't live without my wing liner, so it's essentially just a wing liner, lashes because I pull mine out from stress because, you know, anxiety. And I'm going to be showing you little tips and tricks on how to get flawless makeup application, and if I can even say application, and yeah, share with you my little secrets. Also, huge thank you to Anna Louisa Jewelry who have sponsored this video, and they have sent me these really gorgeous pieces. Now I picked these pieces out because I feel like they just went with everything. I wear them every day, they're just so gorgeous and delicate, and I'm just in love with them. They're so beautiful. Another thing that I really love about the brand is that it's completely sustainable, so the jewelry is actually made from 100% recycled sterling silver and gold, which is amazing. Anything that's good for the planet gets a thumbs up from me. So the price of the jewelry ranges from £49 onwards on their website. I will leave a link in my description if you were interested in checking that out. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply my skincare. Now everyone's always asking me how to get a flawless base, and it really does start with the prep. If you're not applying your moisturiser and your skincare, your makeup is never going to sit as good on top, so we're going to start with that. So I've already toned my skin, and now I'm just going to go in with my moisturiser. So I'm just going to go in with this moisturiser from Glow Recipe. It's the Watermelon Glow Pink Moisturiser. Making sure I've got that really nice and even all across my face. And then I'm going to go in with some eye cream. This is really important if you get creasing under your eyes. Now I have quite dark under eye circles, so it is really important that I hydrate my under eyes, and you know, that really helps to stop the concealer cracking and sort of, you know, getting those horrible creases that make me look about 10 years older. And under eye cream is probably one of the most important steps in your makeup routine, especially if you have dark circles like me. It really helps to keep your makeup flawless under there all day and just prevent too much creasing or looking too dry or anything like that. So I love a glowy base, so I'm going to go in with the Pure Canvas Primer from Laura Mercier, and it just really makes the skin look really luminous and healthy. And in the summer sometimes I will just like wear this on its own with a bit of concealer under my eye. Nothing too crazy, but it really does give such a gorgeous glow. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's so glowy and gorgeous. I'm a big fan of this product actually. It surprised me because when I first got it I was like, I'll give it a go, but it has actually become one of my go-to primers, so definitely recommend this. So now that my skin is all prepped, I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. Now I have quite big eyebrows and I love a dramatic fluffy eyebrow, and my favourite product of all time that I've ever found to get this effect that lasts all day is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Styling Wax. It's like soap brows, but you don't have to add the water, and I'm just obsessed. It is so much quicker and so much easier. But first I just brush my eyebrow and make sure it's all nice and brushed up into the sort of shape that I want it in. I take the product and I just sort of get a liberal amount on my spoolie like so. And it's really self-explanatory, you just brush it through your eyebrows. Don't be shy with the product either. And you just want to make sure you've coated all your eyebrow, and you want to start to push down with your spoolie, and you'll see how it starts to take shape. So you want to push that into your desired shape. So that for me is pretty much perfect. And then I'm going to take my finger, just really start to push that down to really make it stick to the skin. And you can see the difference between this brow and this brow. What I also love about soap brows is it kind of keeps my eyebrows higher up, so it kind of gives me like a bit of a facelift. If you can see that, and it gives me so much more room for my eyeshadow, which I love because I have very small eyelids. So I'm just going to do the same again on the other side. So I'm going to need my eyebrows to set, and whilst I do that I'm going to use my concealer. Now I'd say obviously I've got a few blemishes, but my main concern for myself is my under eyes. I have really naturally dark under eyes, and I have had actually the only cosmetic work I've ever had done is actually having my under eyes filled, and it was probably about 3 years ago now, and it is the best thing I've ever done, but obviously it's faded quite a bit now. I think there's still a bit in there because normally they're much more hollow, but yeah, that is still my main area of concern, so I want to be, you know, colour correcting it. So my all-time favourite concealer for like high coverage, specifically for under my eyes, that doesn't crease too much and gives really good coverage, is the Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer from Jouer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, many a sleepless nights are covered by this concealer, so I'm a big fan because I'm a night owl. I watch Netflix till 4 or 5 in the morning some nights. I get stuck in a hole. And what I like to do is I like to take it from the sort of bridge of the nose here, because that's where your dark shadows tend to start, especially if you've got like naturally dark under eye circles. It tends to start from here, and when you don't conceal there, you're kind of missing where you need it the most. So a top tip is to leave your concealer under your eye. When you first apply it, don't blend it out immediately. You want to leave it for about 30 seconds to a minute, wait for it to set down a bit more because it's going to give you a little bit more coverage, and then just pat out to blend, and then I go on with the rest of my face. Okay, so I'm going to start to blend. I'm just going to use my ring finger and really slowly just pat that in, and I'm blending down because the further you blend up, it's going to go into your crease here, and the more creasing you're going to get. So you want to blend it down, just make sure you've got everywhere covered you want to, and then you want to take any excess product just gently with your finger up, and that's going to sort of stop creasing so much. But you can see how much better my under eye looks now. It's insane. I love this concealer. Love it. And as you can see, it looks like I've had like a full 12 hours sleep, that I'm a healthy, normal individual who does not have an obsession with binging TV and staying up till 4 in the morning being anxious at things that may probably never ever happen. So now I'm just going to go in with the ABH brow pen and just fill in any gaps in my eyebrow. And I like to focus the sort of depth towards the outside of the brow, so it's not too dark in this sort of front portion. Just helps to define the arch when you've got like a fluffier brow. And that is the brows finished. So I'm going to go in with my base now to cover the multitude of sins and look flawless. And my favourite foundation at the minute is the Ordinary Serum Foundation. It's also very cheap. I think it's like £5.70, which is really good. And it's just a really nice sort of glowy, beautiful, subtle foundation. So I'd say it's probably like light to medium coverage, but it is buildable, which I do like. Probably should have tied my hair back for this bit, it would probably have made more sense. But we move. Throw my hair up. How do girls just do a messy bun and it looks cute? Why does mine look like this? Ah! Pain without the S. If you're one of those girls who just puts their hair in a bun and it just looks really cute with no effort, how are you doing this? I want to know. Witches. I'm telling you. Okay, so now we're going to go on to contour so we look less ghost-like, and I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Amber, which is just a really nice sort of cool tone. And what I like to do for contouring, my secret trick, I can't take myself seriously at this point. Oh my god. Okay, I can do it. So my top tip for contouring is to go slightly above your cheekbone and not drag it all the way down your face. Because when you blend, you're naturally going to blend down a bit more anyway, and you don't want to blend down too much because it's going to drag your face down, and you want it to look nice and sort of lifted. I always say take it from. So it's all about pulling everything up. I'm also going to take it under my chin. Get rid of my double chin that I've gained during lockdown. I'm just going to do some little cross patterns my forehead, and then obviously we've got to get rid of the schnoz. It's no secret that I'm a big fan of nose contour, and what I like to do is I take it, I sort of pull diagonally in, because one of the biggest parts of my nose is the tip, so I go wider, diagonally in, I kind of drag that all the way down, and I just like to go in a little V shape here, and that kind of gives the illusion of a more lifted tip, so it just gives the illusion of a slightly thinner nose, and I just kind of tap it in. So I like to go in with a really dense brush that really helps to pack it in, and my top tip is to pat instead of swipe, because you're going to remove that layer of foundation you've just applied, and this is the best way to do it without disturbing that layer basically. So I like to use the Huda Beauty brush, and it is faded. Oh, it is the Bake and Blend brush, but I love this for blending out cream contour. So you want to have this sort of pointy bit of your brush facing downwards, and you want to blend that way. So just using patting motions, and you just want to slowly sort of, I like to sort of sweep up here with my patting motions. Also, please remember to blend out your chin. There's been so many times where like I think I've done it and then I've gone out and I've realised I've just got this big brown line still on my jawline. I don't know why, like even though like I do these like crazy like makeups, I'm obviously like a working makeup artist, I would never forget on a climb on myself. I don't know why, I'm forever forgetting it. It is like, I don't know why, I just do it all the time, and I'm just always so embarrassed when like I go out on a night with my friends and like, well obviously we're a bit drunk and we don't realise, and I just look back and I've just got these big brown lines on down my face, and I'm like, that explains why I didn't pull. So for my nose contour, again it's another Huda Beauty brush. I'm not sure which one this is. It's got like a foundation brush and like one of these, I think it's their Tantour brush, I think it came with their Tantour products, which are really good. I could be wrong, but I do very much enjoy it. But I use this sort of flat, sort of dense brush, and I like this because it kind of really is perfect for blending nose contour essentially. I'm pretty sure that's what Huda designed it for. And she was onto a winner because, my goodness, it's just perfect for packing it all on. And now one of my best hacks is, if you already know what colour you're going to be using on your lips, it's not like a nude colour, I really like coral sort of colours. So I'm going to be taking the shade Pudding from Colourpop Cosmetics, it's one of their liquid lips, and I'm going to actually be using this as blush, and it just really marries everything together. So I'm just going to apply that just above where we place our contour here. And then I'm going to take the other end of this brush, here on it, and I'm just going to pat that into the skin. No swiping, just patting. So where you put your blush is really dependent on your face shape, but what I see going around a lot at the minute is kind of having it really high on your cheekbones and not bringing it too low down into your apples or your cheeks, whereas before it was always get the apples of your cheeks, and I'm sort of seeing a shift to having it a bit higher on your cheekbone, almost a bit like draping. Remember when draping was a thing? People would bring the blush like here. I'm also seeing people place it here, which I'm not mad at. It adds a bit of warmth back into the face. And it just really sculpts and lifts the face, as opposed to having it on the apples of the cheekbone. Especially for someone like me, it really does tend to hollow out the face when you don't really have a cheekbone to begin with. So now that all my cream stuff is on, I'm going to set my face. So I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder. I'm just going to pat that on with a big fluffy brush. Nothing too complicated about it. Making sure I get into the creases of my nose and my smile lines especially. So now I'm just going to set my face, and one of my favourite hacks for making my skin look less powdery after I've powdered is to take a setting spray. I really like a dewy one, so I'm going to be using the dewy set from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Give it a good shake and really being quite generous with this. I just really feel like it makes the skin look can't talk. It really helps the skin to look more like skin again. So I'm going to be taking the NARS bronzer in the shade San Juan. San Juan? How do you say that? San Juan? Doesn't sound right. But I'm just going to take that onto a angled brush. Again, keeping my angled brush angled this way. The old-fashioned fish technique. I'm just really gonna concentrate it into this part and very, very slightly down. Now this is going to sound really weird, but hear me out. I've discovered like my favourite blush combo, but it's actually eyeshadow. So I'm going to be taking my eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be taking these shades. Obviously, excuse my mirror, it's been very well loved. I stepped on it the other day. I'm going to be taking the shade Awkward and Why Though, and I'm actually going to mix them together, and they just make the most gorgeous orangey blush. I've just been really loving orange tone blushes recently, so yeah, it's been like my favourite. Just creates this really gorgeous coral. I love a coral blush, so it's just so up my street, and it just really sits nicely on top. Look at that, that is gorgeous. Okay, now for the eyes, I'm going to take the P. Louise base, and I use the shade Rumour. And I'm just going to take it on a flat brush, and I'm going to carve out my eyebrows just to make them look a bit more defined, and also create a really nice base for our eyes. So I'm going to be taking that flat side right to the underneath portion of my brow, like so. So as you can see, I'm really not worried about being neat with this part. So now I'm just going to take like a dense brush like this, and I'm just going to blend that all over the lid. Just make sure we've got a really nice even base. So taking the shade Slough from my palette on just like a little thin brush like this, I'm just going to line up until here and in my inner corner, and then I'm going to line my lash line very thinly with that shade as well, just to meet those colours. Just really subtly, and it gives this really nice sort of cat eye effect that I really like. So next I'm going to go in with the mascara that everyone seems to be going crazy for on TikTok at the minute. It's the Maybelline Sky High Lash. Okay, so my original plan was to do just the outer corner lashes, which I normally do, so I normally trim my lashes and just do the outer portion, but I've actually somehow lost the lashes that I usually use for this, so I'm just going to go in with my second option for lashes, which is just full lash, and they are Vixen from Unicorn Cosmetics, and they are gorgeous, so it's just going to be a fuller lash for this look. So I'm just going to go in with my bronzer into my crease and bring it to here, and that just adds a really nice subtle bit of depth, and that is the most I will be doing to the eyes. So for my highlight, I'm going to be taking the Milk and Cookies highlighter from Ofra Cosmetics in collaboration with my friend Steph, who is just incredible. It also smells like cookies, so I'm just really excited to use this. Ooh, how gorgeous is that glow! So now I'm just taking a darker lip pencil to overdraw my lips, the same liquid lip in shade Pudding from earlier, and that is the tutorial finish. I hope that this helps you guys, and thank you so much for watching.